Hi, folks. Welcome back. Great to have you here. Rush Limbaugh and the one and only Excellence in Broadcasting Network. It's great to have you here. It always is, where we meet and surpass all audience expectations every day, and been doing it for 27 years now, into our 28th. Our telephone number, if you want to be on the program, is 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. Now, just to review, I understood the point that our first caller was making. Peter from Seattle was his name. And he basically said, look, Megyn Kelly ought to just bump out of this. This is not about her. It's about the candidates. We've got a presidential campaign going on here, and people want to find out what these candidates think, not what the moderators think. And I understand that his real point was not that she should be gracious and back out. His point was that reporters shouldn't be the ones making news. And on that basis, reporters ought to just step aside here. You know, moderate it, fine. Just ring the bell when time's up. And other than that, let it go. Let it be a free-for-all. Let it be a real debate, not an elongated Sunday show. And a lot of people have this view. But see, this is my point in the first hour. The game, the rules, the way this is all evolved, the media does control who gets access. The media does control. You've heard it. You've called here and complained about it. The Republicans have to not only beat the Democrats, have to beat the media. And you complained about that to the Republicans, and what do they tell you? Yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah, I know, but that's our cross to bear. Well, Trump is saying, screw it. I'm not playing that game. It's a guaranteed loser. I'm not running against Megyn Kelly. I'm not running against Brit Hume. I'm not running against Chris Wallace. And I don't want them to act like they are running against me. But see, the game has evolved in such a way now that the media does have this prominent role. I mean, they determine what is news, they determine what isn't news, and they determine what you hear about the news in terms of commentary. And they used to have a monopoly on it. Now they don't, which has made them, I think, even more partisan, openly partisan. They've always been partisan. It's making them more openly partisan than they've ever been. But here comes Trump outside the parameters of all of this, outside the boundaries. He's not playing the game. He's done it. He's played the game. He's been a good boy up until now. But this, for whatever reasons that he cites, is too much. But don't kid yourself. This isn't over. There are negotiations going on. The UK Daily Mail has a story here that the feud that Trump is having with Fox News has resulted in Roger Ailes calling his wife and daughter in an attempt to get him back to the debate. Headline of the story: Donald Trump feud causes panicking Fox News CEO to call Ivanka and Melania in an attempt to get the frontrunner back to the debate. But Trump says he will only speak to Murdoch. Donald Trump's refusal to attend a debate on Thursday night has sent Fox News into chaos. Well, now let's look at that. I mean, because in some people's minds, that's what the Daily Mail's reporting, UK Daily Mail. We've cited them as a credible, really good publication. Let's take a look at this from a number of different angles, shall we? Trump says that he's not going to participate in the Fox News debate on Thursday, and instead he's going to be raising money for vets. Stated reason: Megyn Kelly is going to be a moderator, and he doesn't want to go through that again, whatever it is. Now, over here, let's not forget there's a presidential race long after the primaries are over, and for all we know, Trump's already begun to run that. And one thing that Trump knows is that Democrats and liberals despise Fox News. They hate it. Fox News is Satan to them. Fox News is the Antichrist. It's irrational, but they literally hate Fox News. It's on the brain. I'm sure Roger Moore last night had to get tetanus shots and all other kinds of inoculations before. Michael Moore, what did I say? Roger Moore. Oh, yeah, that's definitely not Roger Moore. Yeah, Michael Moore. I'm sure he had to go in there and get shots before he walked in the building. Thinking Trump might be making a play to broaden his base for the general election. Some people may think that's what's going on, which no votes have been cast yet. But what if Trump already thinks he's got this wrapped up? And he's already running the general campaign now. I don't think that's the case, but some people are going to be analyzing it that way. Maybe Trump is just ticked off in general about something, and Megyn Kelly and Fox happen to be the target today for what is ticking him off. Maybe he's fed up with what he hears from everybody on Fox about himself. Who knows? Is it strategic? Is it personal? Is it both? Bottom line is nobody does this. In the process, Trump has taken charge of the media. While the media is out there saying, you don't get to control the media, Trump is controlling the media. Nobody gets to control the media. Yeah, they do. If they can. You telling me that Bill Clinton hasn't controlled the media, that Barack Obama doesn't control the media? Don't make me laugh. But no matter how slice this, Donald Trump is the story. He's the story when he's there. He's the story when he's not there. Telling Fox News he doesn't want to be there is a story. He says he's got endorsements to announce. You know what? I don't have time for you people at Fox, but this guy, this evangelist over here, Falwell Jr., in my camp. Guy's smart. Guy loves me. Best evangelist going. Better than any evangelist out there because he endorsed me. You know the drill. So here we are. He's trailing in Iowa in some polls. Some polls he's ahead in Iowa. Regards nip and tuck. He's in the process of orchestrating massive media attention on his terms just before the caucuses on Monday night. He hasn't won Iowa. And for all we know, he's still a few points behind. People say if he wins Iowa, that means he's going to run the table and win the whole shebang. Ted Cruz is out saying that's a possibility. It's why you've got to vote for me. Don't waste your vote on any of these other Republicans up here, Cruz. You've got to vote for me. By the way, if Trump actually doesn't show up, and I think it's still an open question, it's another thing. You don't know for sure what's going to happen until the thing starts and he's not there. And even then, you don't know if he'll try to join the thing in progress. I mean, look, folks, where Trump is concerned, there aren't any rules. And if there are, he has no problem blowing past them. Now, just recently, Donald Trump was talking about how he's the guy, he could make deals. He could do deals with Harry Reid. He could do deals with Nancy Pelosi. He could do deals with Chuck Schumer. I would expect tomorrow night we'll hear Ted Cruz speak a lot about that. Cruz will probably ask, doing deals with Schumer, Pelosi, is that how we're going to make America great again? The risk Trump runs not showing up is that there will be nobody to rebut whatever anybody says about him from the other candidates. But he's obviously tossed that into the calculations that he has made. How's it going to play with the caucus goers? Well, that's like trying to analyze why Trump supporters hang with him through everything that he does or doesn't do. Nobody knows any of this stuff yet. All of this, much of it in a real sense, is unprecedented, which is why a lot of people are so unnerved by it. Now, there are people that hate Trump, too. And for them, Megyn Kelly's a hero. And for them, Fox News is the greatest thing to come down the pike. There are people who despise Trump. Republicans, conservatives think Trump is dangerous. The worst thing could possibly happen. Oh, my. So all of this that Fox is doing, they love it. They're supporting it. Don't doubt that Fox has their allies in this. Fox is getting plaudits from all over the place. But Fox is making it clear they would rather have Trump there. They're disappointed Trump isn't going to show up. For whatever reasons, take your pick. But right now, Trump has positioned himself in you can almost say that he is beyond news. You can't just cover Trump from the prism of news. You have to cover Trump also through the entertainment prism. And Megyn Kelly, she herself has been featured on the covers of many pop culture magazines and websites. That is called broadening the base. That's called reaching out beyond the confines of what people think a news anchor is. That's called redefining and resetting the table for the purposes of marketing and expanding the number of people that might tune in. I mean, Fox News would love to have viewers that are interested in things other than just the news. I mean, how else are they going to grow their audience? So you could argue that all of this, boiled down to its essence, is show business of one form or another. And if that's the case, who's better at it than anybody else? Who's familiar with it? Who knows how to do show business media? Some people, when they're faced with the media, are simply compliant and polite and try to answer the questions, and others look at them as people with whom you have to engage in combat. And some say, I'd just rather them not be involved in what I'm doing at all. To hell with it. Why do I have to basically bow down and kiss their feet to get where I want to go? Trump is media savvy, knows TV, and a big part of knowing TV is not fearing it. That's why I have to chuckle when I hear people, oh, man, Trump is not looking good. Afraid of Megyn Kelly? What do you mean? How can you, if you're going to be afraid of Megyn Kelly, how are you going to negotiate with Putin? It isn't about being afraid of anybody. And by the way, let me restate something. Every syllable of commentary for me today is coming from a point of absolutely no support or opposition to one candidate or another. Nothing I say today is shaped by personal preference in this race. That's why I opened the program the way I did.